Serenity Knight, born on August 19, 1989. She's the first child of Kim and Ron Knight and the ninth grandchild of Crean and Paul Stoudinger. David Bucktrup, born April 14, 1990, second child of Jeff and Barb Bucktrup, 10th grandchild of Bernice and Kenny Bucktrup. David's baptism on June 10, 1990. A family picture, Ellie, David, Jeff, and Barb. Vicki Stoudinger and her fiance, Jerry Fenlon. Dylan Byers' First Holy Communion on May 6, 1990. A family picture, Bob, Jason, Linda, Nathan, and Dylan. Dylan with his grandparents, Bernice and Kenneth Bucktrup, and Lenore Byer. Terry Brown and Todd Batzler married on May 26, 1990. Norb, Florence, Terry, and Todd. Family picture, Norb, Florence, Terry, Todd, Romy, and Gordy. Terry and Todd in their attendance. Presenting to you Mr. and Mrs. Todd Batzler. Scott Bucktrup performing in track at the state on June 2, 1990. He's wearing black. He's just ready to jump the hurdle. See, here he comes. Here he's getting his ribbon. And Scott placed fourth. Tina Schuh's 8th grade graduation from St. Mary's on June 3, 1990. Kathy Bucktrup and Christopher Audino's wedding on September 1, 1990. Kenny, Kathy, Chris, and Bernice. Kathy and Chris with all their attendants. Here's a picture of the immediate Bucktrup family. Craig and Tammy, Barb and Mary, and from right to left is Jeff, Linda, Gary, Bernice, Kathy, Kenny, Scott, Mark, and Jay. Here's the entire family. Kenny and Bernice, 11 children, 6 in-laws, and 10 grandchildren. Jay Bucktrup and fiancée Natalie Podner. Reigning as king and queen at the Reeds of Homecoming on September 22, 1990 was Scott Bucktrup and Brandy McGinnis. Kyle Clifford, born on October 10, 1990, the second child of Julie and Wayne Clifford and fifth grandchild of Ed and Teresa Schuh. Here are Ed and Teresa's 5 grandchildren. Cute. Quint born 3 years and Joseph born 2 years old. Kristen Weston 3 years old. Look at those dimples. Kathleen Clifford 2 years old. And Kyle Clifford 5 months. Steve Schuh and Ann Wanish were married on October 20th, 1990. Gloria Schuh's family picture. Ronnie, Ellen, and Carrie Bays. Gloria, Steve and Ann, Rhonda Bays, Sue Schuh, and Brian Jensen. Here's a picture of the second generation. Eleanor and Edward are in front. Going up the steps are Alice, Florence, and Bernice. Below Bernice is Germaine, Corrine, Leon, and Irene. Donnie's sitting like a king in his throne. It's no more than right because he is the oldest gentleman in the picture. Bernice and Kenny Bucktrup's 35th wedding anniversary was on October 20th, 1990 and was celebrated on October 21st with a mass, brunch, and open house in the afternoon. Their attendants were Irene Inallo in front, Green Stoutinger, Jim Bucktrup, Eleanor Bruning, Bernice and Kenny, Robert Bucktrup, Alice Maney, Donald Schuh, and Mary Lou Thiel. Absent when picture was taken was Edward Schuh. Irene Inallo modeling our mother's wedding dress, which was 60 years old on October 20th. Irene is also holding Mom and Dad's group wedding picture. Irene Inallo and Bridget Lorigan. Bridget is wearing the dress that Irene wore for Bernice and Kenny's wedding. Bridget's grandparents. Sydney Beach, born on November 20th, 1990, second child of Kelly and Scott Beach, and second grandchild of Eleanor and Donnie Bruning. Here's a nice family picture. Scott, Kelly, Sydney, and Tyler. Marissa Maney, born on December 8, 1990, first child of Dale and Lori Maney, and the first grandchild of Alice and John Maney. Four-generation picture. Marissa is being held by her great-grandmother Laura, and Dale her father, and grandfather John Maney. Dale, Lori, and Marissa. We salute all the men and women who served our country in Operation Desert Storm, which was a 43-day war starting on January 16, 1991. The following is a tribute to them, and I would like to say that the following tribute is also for all the Vietnam veterans, especially our brother Edward, who is a Vietnam veteran, and our brother Kenny, who was a Vietnam veteran. Bless his soul.
Country music's #1 fan, President George Bush.
I've made no secret of the fact that I'm a fan of country music, or as all of you at the Academy of Country Music Awards call it, America's music. One reason I've liked country music for so many years has been its unwavering support of our country, our flag, and the ideals for which this country was founded.
We're gonna put her feet back on the path of righteousness and then God bless America again. Glory, glory, America. Pictures of a people proud and free. Hello. Thank you for your time.
Tonight, that great tradition continues as we proudly welcome home the men and women of our armed forces. Their commitment to the cause of freedom has united and energized our country as never before. Let's keep this spirit alive in our thoughts, in our actions, and in our music. And now, here's my friend Reba McEntire.
For spacious skies, for amber ways of grain, for purple mountains' majesty, above the fruited plain. God shed His grace on thee, and crown thy good with brotherhood, from sea to shining sea. While the storm clouds gather far across the sea, we all swear allegiance to a land that's free. Let us all be grateful for a land so fair, as we raise our voices in a solemn prayer. Sing it with me. God bless America, land that I know. Stand beside her and guide her through the night with the light from above.
lots of troubles. She stayed up nights so I could sleep. She's given me more than comfort. She's given me something I can keep.
I love her and I need her, and I want to be with her all the time. I'd fight just to keep her, and I'd die if I thought she wasn't mine.
I love her every morning. Thank God for her every night. I worship the ground she stands on, and I stand on the ground she'll be all right. When you need me, you know I'll be there, 'cause you've always been there for me. America, God knows I love you, 'cause you've been like a mother to me. America, we've been through troubles, and we'll make it again, just wait and see. America, God knows I love you, 'cause you've been like a mother to me. America, stand up and show it, that you're proud of the red, white, and blue. You love her, and you know it, 'cause she's been like a mother to you. America, stand up and show it, that you're proud of the red, white, and blue. You love her, and you know it, 'cause she's been like a mother to you. 'Cause she's been like a mother to you. America.
America, America, God shed his grace on thee and crowned thy good with brotherhood from sea to shining sea. Oh, say, can you see by the dawn's early light what so proudly we hailed at the twilight's last gleaming, whose broad stripes and bright stars through the perilous fight o'er the ramparts we watched were so gallantly streaming, and the rockets' red glare, the bombs bursting in air, gave proof through the night that our flag was still there. Oh, say does that star-spangled banner yet wave o'er the land of the free and the home of the brave.
Have returned to their families, and it's been our pleasure to welcome them and make them our guests.
But there's so much more for all of us to do if we are to set our worldly house in order.
The time's been coming now, it's here. The time to care together, to banish hunger, conquer fear. It's time to care together, restoring the earth, rebuilding the forests, cleansing our water
divide us, we'll put aside us, speeding the message everywhere. That we'll come through it, we can do it, if we care together. We all must learn, we all must know, we all must share together the ways our world can thrive and grow. Let's show we care together. From mountain to valley, ice cap to jungle, desert to ocean, there can be peace and plenty, joy and freedom, if we care together.
Thank you. From San Diego, a thank you to everyone who has ever fought for our country.
And from Williamsburg, a prayer that our world can learn to care together.
And from Orlando, a thank you for watching. God bless and good night.
February 6, 1991 was a very emotional day for Mary and Dan Gilsdorf. Their twins were born. Their son Jonathan was stillborn. Jonathan was the first child of Mary and Dan and the 11th grandchild of Bernice and Kenneth Bucktrup. Their daughter Danielle was born 3 hours after Jonathan. Daniel is the second child of Mary and Dan Gilsdorf and the 12th grandchild of Bernice and Kenneth Bucktrup. There was a private funeral for Jonathan at St. Mary's in Brillion on February 11th. Jonathan was buried in St. Mary's Cemetery in Brillion. Danielle Rose Gilsdorf was baptized March 10, 1991. Gilsdorf family, Mary, Dan, and Danielle. Danielle with parents and grandparents, Dan, Mary, Danielle, Bernice, and Kenneth Bucktrup. Vanessa Ninala was born on April 3, 1991. She is the second child of Michael and Tammy Ninalo and the second grandchild of Irene and John Ninalo. Vanessa is being held by her proud grandmother, Irene, while her aunt Janice looks on. Vanessa Ninalo in her baptismal dress on her very special day. Vanessa with her godparents, Johnny and Janice Ninalo, her uncle and aunt. Vanessa's baptism, Mike, Tammy, Vanessa, Father John Noiser, Janice, Johnny, and Cassie Ninalo in front. Here is a picture of Michael and Tammy's family and both sets of parents. Tammy is holding Vanessa while Cassie is standing in front of her dad, Michael. On the left is Tammy's parents, Betty and Eugene Schmidt, and on the right are Michael's parents, Irene and Johnny Nowell. Members of Irene and Johnny Nowell's family. Sitting from left to right are Tammy, Vanessa, Cassie, and Janice. In the back are Michael and Jenny. Jennifer Buchtrup, born April 10, 1991. She is the third child of Gary and Nancy Buchtrup and the 13th grandchild of Bernice and Kenny Buchtrup. Gary and Nancy Buchtrup's family. Stacy, Gary, Stephanie, Jennifer, and Nancy. Bridget Lorigan's First Holy Communion on May 5, 1991. The Lorigan family. Jessica, Barb, Bridget, Bill, and Ryan. Bridget with her grandparents, Ken and Bernice Buchtrup. Megan Keither was born on May 13, 1991. She is the first child of Lori and Jake Keither and the first grandchild of Don and Joyce Schuh. Lori and Jay with Megan on her day of baptism. Grandma and Grandpa Schuh, Joyce and Donald with Megan on Christmas morning. Here's a nice 4-generation picture. Joyce Schuh, great-grandmother Lucille Schmidt holding Megan, and Lori. Judy Staudinger graduated from the University of Stevens Point on May 19, 1991 with a Bachelor of Science degree in education. She accepted a position at Waterford Graded School teaching the 4th grade. Julie Hoyer graduated May 24, 1991 from Reedsville High School. Scott Buchtrup also graduated from Reedsville High School on May 24, 1991. Schuh married Brian Jensen on May 25, 1991. Gloria Schuh with her family members on this festive occasion. Ronnie, Carrie, and Ellen Bays. Gloria, Sue and Brian, Rhonda Bays, and Steve and Ann Schuh. Mr. Mr. and Mrs. Brian Jensen. Scott Bucktrup in track at state on May 31st and June 1st. He received second in the 110 high hurdles, fifth in the 300 low hurdles, and sixth in the long jump. Jessica Lorigan, daughter of Barb and Bill Lorigan, and Sherry Schuh, daughter of Nancy and the late Kenny Schuh, graduated from 8th grade at St. Mary's St. Patrick's School on June 2nd, 1991. Dad died 2 years ago on June 3rd, 1989.
Done.
I remember Daddy's hands folded silently in prayer and reaching out to hold me when I had a nightmare. You could read quite a story in the calluses of lines. Years of work and worry had left their mark behind. I remember Daddy's hands, how they held my mama tight and patted my back for something done right. If I could do things over, I'd live my life again and never take for granted the love in Daddy's hands. Daddy's hands were soft and kind when I was crying. Daddy's hands were hard as steel when I'd done wrong. Daddy's hands were always gentle, but I've come to understand there was always love in Daddy's hands. Daddy's hands were soft and kind when I was crying. Daddy's hands were hard as steel when I'd done wrong. Daddy's hands were always gentle, but I've come to understand there was always love in Daddy's hands.
Tammy Bucktrup and Charles Warzeska were engaged on July 4th, 1991. Jay Bucktrup and Natalie Podner were married on October 5th, 1991. Here's a group wedding picture of Jay and Natalie with their attendants. Jay, Natalie, Ken, and Bernice Bucktrup. is a complete family. Bernice and Kenny, their children and grandchildren. I'll let you all pick out yourselves. Ken and Bernice and the immediate family. In front are Scott and Mark. And then there's Kathy, Gary, Mary, Tammy, and Barb, Jay, Linda, Jeff, and Craig. And Bernice and Kenny standing in back, overlooking their family. Mom died 9 years ago on October 7th, 1982. Here's a tribute to her.
Do a song for all the mamas out there. This is a song I actually wrote about my own mother and about myself, about people like Mother Teresa, Amelia Earhart, Harriet Tubman, Eleanor Roosevelt, Ann Richards, and all the great women that have helped make this world more wonderful. We hope maybe you guys will appreciate this too, though. Oh, she's been there. God knows she's been there. She has seen and done it all. For she's a woman, and she knows how to dish it out or take it all. Her heart's as soft as feathers, still she weathers stormy skies. And she's a sparrow when she's broken, but she's an eagle when she flies. A kaleidoscope of colors, you can toss her round and round. You can keep her in your vision, but you'll never keep her down. She's a lover, she's a mother, she's a friend, and she's a wife, and she's a sparrow when she's broken, but she's an eagle when she flies. Gentle as the sweet magnolia, but strong as steel, her faith and pride. She's an everlasting shoulder, she's the leaning post of light. She hurts deep, and when she weeps, she's just as fragile as a child. And she's a sparrow when she's broken, but she's an eagle when she flies. She's a sparrow when she's broken, but she's an eagle when she flies. Oh, bless the Lord, 'cause she's an eagle when she flies.
Victoria Stoudinger and Jerry Fenlon were married on October 12, 1991. Vicki and Jerry Fenlon. Here's a group wedding picture, Jerry and Vicki with their attendants. Brenda Brown, Dennis Dugan, Kim Knight, Thomas Fenlon, and the bride Vicki. The groom Jerry and his sister Lizzie Fenlon, David Stoudinger, Judy Stoudinger, and Nikki Stoudinger. Paul, Vicki, and Corrine. Vicki with her parents. Paul and Corrine family picture. Judy, Debbie, Corrine and Paul, Vicki, Kim, Darlene, Brenda, and David. Here's a picture of the entire Stoudinger family. Paul and Corrine, 7 children, 5 in-laws, and 10 grandchildren. Absent when the picture was taken was Ron Knight. Fourth generation picture, Nicky with his great-grandmother Bertha Stoudinger, and Vicki and Paul Stoudinger. Steve, look here. Congratulations, Steve. Now you have to tell us all about it. What was it?
What was what? A baby. Deer. 9 of them. Yeah.
I heard you had your little baby. What was it?
Yeah, this is a baby girl.
Baby girl. How much do they weigh?
6 pounds, 15 ounces.
What are you going to name it?
Jacqueline Ann.
How do you spell that?
Jacquelyn.
Good for you. How are they all doing?
Good.
Good. Well, just congratulate Ann from all of us.
We'll do that. Shut it off, please.
How tall is she?
20 1/4 inches. Ooh, that's pretty good size.
Jacqueline was born on November 25, 1991. She is the first child of Steve and Ann and the 3rd grandchild of Gloria and the late Harlan Schuh. Ann, Steve, and Jacqueline. Sue Jensen is holding her little niece. Both of them are wearing teddy bear sweatshirts. Jacqueline in her baptismal gown on her special day. Little cutie. Steve, Ann, and Jacqueline on her baptism day. Carrie and Rhonda Bays. Are they really that happy? Or are they acting? We'll never know. Guess who? Trick or treat. I'll give you a few seconds to guess who it is. Give up? It is Jacqueline Schuh. Hi everyone. I am ending my career as a producer of the Schuh video as of December of 1991. Now if there is anyone else that would like to take over, please let the people know when to have their pictures to you. In case there will be no continuation of this video, I would like to put 2 more articles on it, which would be for the year of 1992. I'd like to do them for Mom and Dad. On June 3rd, it will be 3 years that Dad had died. And within a month before he died, he still was playing his harmonica, and his favorite tune was You Are My Sunshine. Even at his funeral services, the priest had gotten out his harmonica and played You Are My Sunshine for Dad. Now, the year 1992, there was a program on TV where a gentleman sang You Are My Sunshine, and he was age 92. Then I have a poem that I found in a book titled All That Matters. And this book was copyrighted in 1922, so it's been around a few years. And the poem is titled Until She Died. And I would like to have this in the video for Mom, whose anniversary of her 10th year of death will be October 7th. I hope you all enjoy it. Thank you.
When I was 5 years old and living in Houston, my mother made me sing for the nurses at St. Joseph's Hospital, a hospital near our home. And it was my first job as a professional vocalist, and though I only knew one song, I obviously was quite a hit. They gave me a quarter. Overpaid, I might add, at that time. And the song I sang that day was introduced in 1939 by a Hall of Fame member who has twice been governor of Louisiana. He is still active in politics and continues to perform regularly. At the age of 92, he is the oldest member of the Country Music Hall of Fame, and his song remains an American classic. Here is Governor Jimmy Davis.
Thank you. It was with 3 other country musicians a long time ago. We were barnstorming the country trying to make a little dough. We made all the chili joints, eating hot dogs and stews, and at nighttime 3 deep in a 4-bit bed, all singing the hard time blues, hoping someday we'd record a hit and things would be sweet. Then we'd settle down on that place you call Easy Street. It so happened on one July the 6th, we recorded a little ditty or something like this.
The other night, dear, as I lay sleeping, I dreamed I held you in my arms. But when I woke, dear, I wasn't mistaken. So I hung my head and cried. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't you take my sunshine.
If you leave me to love another, you'll regret it all someday. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when the skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. You are my sunshine, my only sunshine. You make me happy when the skies are gray. You'll never know, dear, how much I love you. Please don't take my sunshine away. Please don't take my sunshine away.
Until she died, we never knew the beauty of our faith in God. We'd seen the summer roses nod and wither as the tempest blew. Through many a spring we'd lived to see the buds returning to the tree. We had not felt the touch of woe. What cares had come had slightly flown. Our burdens we had borne alone, the need of God we did not know. It seemed sufficient through the days to think and act in worldly ways. And then she closed her eyes in sleep. She left us for a little while. No more our lives would know her smile, and oh, the hurt of it went deep. It seemed to us that we must fall before the anguish of it all. Our faith, which had not known the test, then blossomed with its comfort sweet, promised that someday we should meet, and whispered to us, He knows best. And when our bitter tears were dried, we found our faith was glorified.